Major trends. Saturn's position in your spiritual 12th house for the past 2 years shows that you're bringing your natural organizational and management skills to the realm of spirituality. You will go far. On December 21st, Saturn crosses your ascendant and enters your first house, your own sign. He will be there through 2018 and 2019. The spiritual insights you've garnered will now be applied in physical and material ways. Capricorn is always ambitious and career-driven, and this year especially so. Jupiter entered your 10th career house in September 2016 and will be there for most of the year ahead, until October 10th. This is a banner career year. You're ultra-successful. This is the main headline of the year ahead. More on this later. On October 11th, Jupiter will enter your 11th house of friends. New and significant friendships are being made. You're very involved with groups and professional organizations. It seems as if they are spiritual or charitable ones. Pluto has been in your sign since 2008 and will be there for many more years. This shows the reinvention of your image and personality, a focus on personal transformation. You're giving birth to the person you want to be, your ideal self. This never happens overnight, but is a long-term process that will continue for many more years. Neptune has been in your 3rd house of communication since 2012, raising and refining your intellectual processes, your taste in reading as well. You are able to communicate in a refined and elegant way. This too is a long-term process that will go on for many more years. Uranus has been in your 4th house of home and family since 2011. This has created great turmoil in the family and most likely brought multiple moves or renovations. The whole family circle has been unstable. Happily, this is almost over with. Next year Uranus will flirt with your 5th house, and in 2019 will enter there for the long haul. More on this later. Your areas of greatest focus this year are the body and image, and this will become even stronger after December 21st. Communication and intellectual interests, home and family, career, until October 10th, friends, group and online activities, from October 11th onwards, and spirituality, until December 21st. Your paths of greatest fulfillment this year are religion, philosophy, higher education and foreign travel, until April 29th, sex, personal transformation and reinvention. From April 29th onwards, career, until October 10th, friends, group activities and technology, from October 11th onwards. Health. I would rate your health as adequate this year. Not spectacular but not disastrous either. So. However, it is a vast improvement over the years 2011 to 2014. Then it was actually dangerous. If you got through that period with wellness, you'll get through the year ahead. You have 3 long-term planets in stressful alignment with you. One of them, Jupiter, moves away on October 11th and the other will move away in the next few years. So a gradual improvement is happening. Your empty 6th house is seen as a positive for health. You don't feel a need to overly focus here. Generally this is because nothing is wrong. As our regular readers know, there is much you can do to improve your health and prevent problems from developing. Give special attention to the following, the vulnerable areas of your chart. The heart. This has only become important in recent years. Capricorns tend to worry a lot. They like to look at worst-case scenarios. Avoid this as much as possible. This is said to be the root cause of heart problems. Relaxation exercises will be helpful. The spine, knees, teeth, bones, skin and overall skeletal alignment. These are always important for Capricorn. Regular back and knee massage should be part of your normal health regime. Regular visits to a chiropractor or osteopath are also beneficial. You want to make sure that the vertebrae and skeleton are in right alignment. Regular dental checkups are important. Give the knees more support when exercising. There are massage chairs out on the market that give great back massages. This might be a good investment for you. Over time it will pay for itself. The lungs, arms, shoulders and respiratory system. Again, these are always important for Capricorn. Mercury, the ruler of those areas, is your health planet. Arms and shoulders should be regularly massaged. Mercury, your health planet, is a fast-moving planet. Only the moon moves faster than him. Not only is he fast-moving, but he's also nimble and erratic. Sometimes he moves quickly, sometimes slowly, sometimes he stands still, sometimes he moves backwards, 4 times this year. This gives him his reputation for flexibility. Flexibility is something for you to cultivate from a health perspective. The body of Capricorn can become too rigid and calcified. It must be made more flexible. But this also shows that you respond well to many kinds of therapies, depending on where Mercury is at any given time. Your health needs tend to be fluid. These short-term trends are best dealt with in the monthly reports. Home and family. As we mentioned, this has been a volatile and challenging area since 2011. Behind all this volatility is a spiritual agenda. Family can be both a womb and a tomb. It is a survival mechanism to be sure, but if carried too far it can be a tomb, stifling a person's independence and creativity. So, if the family relationship has become too much, Uranus comes in and explodes things. He brings more freedom into the family relationship, often in dramatic kinds of ways. So, there have been family breakups, or near breakups. All kinds of stresses are put on the family so that more freedom is given. Family members are subject to wild and extreme mood swings. You never know where you stand with them from moment to moment. Things can change in a trice. And most likely they accuse you of this too. Relations with siblings and sibling figures have been particularly stressful. This should improve after December 21st. The home itself is just a work in progress. It is never finished. It is constantly being renovated or upgraded. One can hear the banging of hammers and screech of saws as we study this chart. Every time you think you have things right, a new idea comes, and a new upgrade happens. Most likely there have been multiple moves since 2011. And it could happen again this year, suddenly and unexpectedly. Capricorns are traditional people. Though it is not politically correct to admit this, they believe, deep down, in a hierarchical order and that they are born to be in charge. But this kind of thinking doesn't sit right with family members these days. There is a need to make the family function like a team of equals. Uranus is your financial planet. His position in your 4th house gives many messages. You're spending a lot on the home and family. You seem unusually financially supportive of them. Most likely you're working more from home, making money from home. The family seem to be financially supportive of you too, especially a parent or parent figures. Family contacts and connections are important in your financial life. This would also indicate a home office or home-based business. You've been installing a lot of technological gadgetry in the home, and will probably install more this year. Renovations can happen at any time. But if you have free will, between January 28th and March 10th is a good time. If you're redecorating, this too could happen at any time. February 3rd to April 4th and April 19th to June 6th would be good. The parents or parent figures in your life have had troubling marriages these past few years. A divorce wouldn't be a surprise, but this year there is good social opportunity if they are single. Moves are not likely this year. Siblings are having a stable family year. A move is not likely, though there is nothing against it. The spouse, partner or current love most likely wants to move. Children and children figures are also having a stable family year. Finance and career. The year ahead is much more of a career year than a financial one. Your money house is basically empty, only short-term planets will move through there this year, while your 10th house of career is prominent. There is much career success, elevation, promotion at the job or company, status and prestige. There is more recognition this year too, not just for your professional achievements, but for your charitable and philanthropic work. Career success seems to entail some short-term financial sacrifices. Sometimes this means choosing status over earnings. It seems you're willing to make these sacrifices and it seems wise. Career elevation generally leads to greater earnings down the road. Financial problems, if they happen, are likely to be the result of taking your eye off the ball, of lack of attention. You have to force yourself to pay more attention here. Also, you might be overgiving to charities, or spending too much time on charitable or idealistic projects, generally non-paying ones, so that you feel some financial stress. A lunar eclipse on August 7 occurs in the money house. Events will happen that will force you to make some financial course corrections. Finances should improve after October 11, as Jupiter moves away from his stressful aspect to Uranus. Many of the financial trends that we've written about in previous years are still very much in effect. This is because your financial planet, Uranus, is very slow-moving. He has been in Aries since 2011. Thus you're much more of a risk-taker than usual. You favor startups and new enterprises rather than long-established investments. Conservative by nature, these days you're quick to make important financial decisions and purchases. When the transits are favorable, these things work out and you cover a lot of financial territory quickly. But when they were unkind, you've been burned. Finance and financial attitudes will soon change. Uranus is getting ready to move out of Aries. He will be there this year, but next year will start to flirt with Taurus. The financial judgment is going to become more conservative again. Generally, Capricorn abhors the quick buck. But these days, since 2011, you've fallen under this lure a few times. 3 eclipses impact on the earnings of the spouse, partner or current love, and business partners. This is highly unusual. There will be 2 solar eclipses that affect them and 1 lunar eclipse. These bring much turmoil and change to their earnings. They have to make very dramatic changes to thinking, planning and strategy. You've been in a very spiritual period for 2 years now. Your spiritual planet, Jupiter, is in your career house. This transit gives a very strong message: you further your career through charitable and altruistic activities. Many of you will take management positions in non-profit corporations or in charitable foundations. These things attract you. In some cases, Capricorn, you will actually opt for a spiritual career, ministry as an example, or will make the spiritual practice the actual career. Love and social life. This is not an especially strong romantic year. Your 7th house of love is empty, only short-term planets will move through there. Love is not a strong focus this year. Of course, singles will date and go out, and there will be parties and gatherings. But nothing special. A stable romantic year. Those who are married will stay married and singles will most likely remain single. The empty 7th house shows that you have much freedom in this area. There is nothing opposing romance, but nothing that supports it either. You seem content with things as they are. Your love planet, the moon, is the fastest moving of all the planets. Where even the other fast-moving planets, the Sun, Mercury or Venus, take a year to go through all the sectors of the chart, the moon does this every month. So love and love opportunities change every few days for you. It all depends on where the moon is and the aspects she receives. These short-term trends are best covered in the monthly reports. In general, your social magnetism will be stronger when the moon is waxing, getting larger, than when she is waning, getting smaller. These periods begin at the new moon and culminate at the full moon. The social status quo we've discussed applies to those in or working on the 1st, 2nd or 4th marriages. Those working on the third marriage have excellent opportunities from October 11th onwards. These opportunities happen in spiritual-type settings, at the spiritual lecture, prayer meeting or meditation seminar, or at charitable events. Romance is stable this year, but the social life overall will be good, especially after October 10th. We have already mentioned this. This is where you make new friends, strengthen old ones and get more involved in group kinds of activities. Many prefer these kinds of relationships to the romantic kind. There is total freedom and no commitment. A parent or parent figure is having a strong social year. Very active. Very happy. If he or she is single, marriage can happen. Meetings happen at their place of worship, in foreign lands or at educational-type functions. Siblings and sibling figures in your life are having an active social life too, perhaps overactive. They seem successful here. Children or children figures are having a very active social year from October 11th onwards. If they are of appropriate age, a serious love relationship is likely, perhaps even marriage. But whatever their age, they are making new friends. Grandchildren of appropriate age, if you have them, are having their marriage age tested this year. This has been going on for a few years now. A solar eclipse on February 26 will further test the marriage. Self-improvement. Pluto, the planet of transformation, has been in your own sign since 2008. The first house relates to the body and image. Saturn, the ruler of your horoscope, has been in your 12th house of spirituality for 2 years now, and as the ruler of your horoscope rules your body and image. So we have a very strong message here. There is spiritual transformation happening in your body. Many of you are involved in these kinds of projects, transforming and reinventing the body. Some of you have tried cosmetic surgery to effect this. And many of you are still thinking about it. Some of you have used diet as a means to do this. Some are using technology. All with so-so success. The important thing to understand is that, spiritually speaking, it is within your power and ability to utterly and totally transform your body. Many of you know this and have received teaching on this. The skinny weakling can become a muscle man. The obese can become slim and trim. The old can regain youthfulness. You have the power to shape your body exactly as you see fit. The body doesn't have a will of its own. It has appetites, habits and momentums, to be sure, but no independent will. Sooner or later it must take on the image that you create. It has no choice in the matter. Your job is to hold the appropriate image, your personal image of perfection. Also, it is good to make positive affirmations, positive statements about the body, according to your desire. If you want, for example, a flat stomach, you would visualize it flat and you would make the appropriate affirmation, that is, I have a flat stomach now. Repeat this daily and preferably a few times a day. When you start, there's no need to worry about how this will happen. This is not your business. It is the business of a higher intelligence which knows the body and its needs intimately. As you continue, and persistence is a very important element here, ways and means will come to you in interesting ways. Perhaps you will start exercising. Often the food cravings will change, normally and naturally. You won't feel that you're depriving yourself of anything. You will just crave different kinds of foods more suitable to the image you want to manifest. If a certain therapy or supplement is needed, this too will come to you quite naturally. Don't expect instant results overnight. This is a trap for many people. After a week or so, if nothing discernible happens, they give up and say it doesn't work. The truth is, on a day-by-day basis, you won't notice much. But over time, the results will be dramatic indeed. It is much like watching a plant or tree grow. Day to day nothing seems to be happening. But many things are happening internally. Look at the plant in 3 weeks. Look at the tree in 3 months and you will see important change. Take your time. Let things happen gradually. Persist. Over time you will be amazed. After a year of persistent work, you won't even recognize the body. A year is not a long time. If you consider that the present condition of the body took many, many years, and in some cases thousands of years, to be what it is. 1 year of spiritual work is nothing. It is actually miraculous.